Got a great show for you. NBA Game 5 tonight. And, of course, the weekend of baseball. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Excellent.
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 Now, it's amazing how Evan Roberts has now, and frankly, the majority of Met fan has finally figured it out. You've done the math. And that's all this is about today, is you and other Met fans have sat down and done the math. And you've decided, I'm not bothered by an 11-game Atlanta Brave win streak. I'm not bothered by the Phillies winning 9 out of 10. The Mets played 500 ball on the road, and you guys are happy as a pig in dump.
I'm happy.
Look at that.
That was a great road trip. That was an excellent finale to the series.
500 road trip.
I love what Buck did using Edwin Diaz, and he strikes out the greatest player in the history of the sport, Mike Trout. And I love the fact that at 40-22, the New York Mets, and I want everybody to let this sink in because sometimes we're distracted by other things like the Yankees never losing.
Which is unbelievable.
The New York Mets are off to their second greatest start in the history of the franchise.
Is that what it is? Second
Yes.
best? 86 being the best?
86 through the first 62 games is the only season
Wow.
that's better than this. And they've done it dealing with adversity, dealing with the injuries.
Well, like every team's got that. But the Mets
Really?
have... The Mets
Every
have,
team
every
is
team's
dealt
got
without
adversity.
their top two starting pitchers?
No. You not specifically, no. But every team's got injuries
correct.
and adversity.
I totally agree every team has injuries and adversity. But when we went into spring training and we talked about the Mets' hopes of making the playoffs and winning a World Series, their identity was Max Scherzer and Jacob DeGrom.
100% agreed.
Okay.
Yes.
Jake hasn't pitched.
Right.
Max has been out for almost a month now. And yet that great start is happening with the identity of this team still in the rehab
No,
world.
you're right. Listen, we were talking before the show that, they've seen the lead evaporate. But in fairness, if you want to use the Max Scherzer injury as your starting point, again, you can pick any day you want for the sake of this conversation. We picked Max Scherzer because of the obvious reasons. They've only lost half a game. They went from 6 to 5.5. So if somebody had told you that you'd go a month now without Max Scherzer, and you'd basically stay exactly where you were at that time.
Right.
Now, listen, we recognize the lead ballooned up to, I think, 10 at one point.
Right.
So you could be a negative Nelly and go, they've lost half their lead. No, in reality, you said the day Scherzer went down, play 500 ball till he gets back, and I'm good.
Yes.
They've been better than that.
I'm thrilled. And look, the Atlanta Braves, they were always going to get hot. If anybody thought, and you happen to be one of them, unfortunately, I tried to correct you.
I told you the Mets wouldn't play a meaningful game till October.
Yes, you're wrong.
And I'm right.
No, you're wrong about that.
I happen to be dead on.
No,
the Yankees, too. It's boring almost.
The Yankees are a different story. For the sake of this discussion, we're talking about the Mets. The Braves have cut it to 5.5 games. And that's what they've done. They've cut it to 5.5 games.
Okay.
The Mets haven't blown a lead, and it's gone down to 5.5 games. The Atlanta Braves, who have won how many divisions in a row? Let me count. 18, 19, 20, 4 consecutive NL East.
Yeah.
They are the defending, reigning world champions. They are a good team. You knew this was going to happen. Well, you didn't because you said they wouldn't play another meaningful game.
I mean, they haven't. They're not going to. All is well in Metville.
No. You're convoluting two things. Yes, things are well right now.
Okay.
I'm happy. They're going to be in a pennant race with the Atlanta Braves.
Poppycock.
The Atlanta Braves have cut it to 5.5 because they're red hot. Now, will they eventually lose a game or two? Sure. And the Mets and Braves still play each other 14 more times, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of head-to-head. There's going to be a lot of significant baseball played between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
But I use the NBA analogy. The Mets jumped out to a 25-point lead against a very good team.
Yeah.
That team was going to go on a run. Steph Curry was going to hit a bunch of threes. They were going to make it a game. And the Atlanta Braves have made it a game. Now you respond.
Listen, 500 road trip. Everyone's all pumped up. The real story today, in my opinion, in New York, are the New York Yankees. I mean, this is getting boring at this point. The Yankees have basically said to Yankee fans, listen, we got you. Take the summer off, do what you got to do. Reintroduce yourself to your kids and your wives and husbands, whatever the case may be. And come back and talk to us around Columbus Day. Because this is a rout. This is like pros playing against children right now.
Yes.
And I frankly find it boring.
It's not boring.
It's eminently boring.
No, it's not.
And fantastic at the same exact time.
Kicking teams' asses.
Hey, let's just score 18 runs. Why not?
Look, by the end of that game, when you've got position players pitching, you want to say that is boring? Sure.
No, that was the most exciting part of the game.
That was when you had fun.
A 35-mile-per-hour pitch that Higgy takes yard.
I know.
The guy hit 7 home runs in a week and a half in the spring. Didn't have a single home run. Hits the first one, line drive shot, too.
Yeah.
And then he gets up red hot against a 35 mile like you.
Yes.
And had the bat speed to get it out of here.
Here's what I know.
Woo!
There's a lot of major leaguers I get out throwing
So
35
boring.
miles an hour, but I wouldn't be able to get Higgy out. He's the one guy that would own me.
Yeah.
He owns those things.
He's a slow ball hitter.
But Craig,
that's what they say about him.
Craig, let's be fair about the 44-16 New York Yankees.
Yeah, they're 28 games over 500.
They are 20
It's not even July. It's a wrap.
They are running away with the AL East, and they have a chance to put an exclamation point on that because they play the Rays for 3 games. Now, Tampa Bay comes out and wins 3 straight. We're having a different discussion Friday morning. But part of the reason that this is happening is the good juju you guys brought in
That's
by
right.
signing Matthew Aloysius Carpenter.
Yeah, your guy.
And you saw it yesterday.
Yeah,
This
your guy.
this guy was built for Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And so while they're 44-16 and there are no issues in this world, let me give some friendly advice to your friend Aaron Boone. Play the man. Play the man. Play the man.
They played him.
They played him once in a
They
week
even did
because
the late scratch here right before the game
that's
started.
Craig, that's my point. That's why he
Right.
played.
Yeah.
He played because of a late scratch. Matt Carpenter is earning playing time.
100% right.
Play the stash. Play him. Get his
Listen,
ass in the lineup.
I got to be honest. No matter what anybody says right now.
What?
About the New York Yankees and about Aaron Boone's concocted substitution plans and who gets a day off and who's starting. Because I'll be honest, none of it makes sense. None of it. Guys red hot, Gallo, sit him down.
Right.
Rizzo, 2 sit him down. Glaber hitting 380, sit him down, whatever it is, right?
Right.
It makes no sense. And yet, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
This team right now, and God knows when it's going to end, is in a zone that you beg for as a fan and as a player.
Okay, now, this is not to put the Yankees down because they're 44-16 and they're awesome. But every time they win, they are naturally being compared to the 1998 New York Yankees.
Okay.
The 1998 New York Yankees, to me, that's the greatest baseball team I've ever seen.
There's a difference, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a difference.
Go ahead.
The eye test.
Go ahead.
The eye test. Like, this team's really, really good. Their starting pitching is as good as we've ever seen a New York Yankee team.
Right.
Aaron Judge is having a Mickey Mantle-esque MVP season. I get all that. They're not the 1998 Yankees, though. I mean, I'm sorry.
Because you don't want them to be.
Why would I not want them to be?
Because in the little corners of the world that you sleep in when you break down baseball, you can't possibly fathom a team with Joey Gallo and IKF in its everyday lineup being anywhere near as good as the 98 Yankees.
I think you're right.
With Jeter, right?
Scott Brosius even.
Right.
Like when I think of the 98 Yankees, in a lot of ways, I think of Scott Brosius. I think of a guy who was a .212 hitter from Oakland coming to the Yankees and having like this incredible renaissance. When I think of this Yankee team, and it's so odd because they're 44-16, they're awesome. They have no flaws right now, right? Everything's great.
114-48, I think was the record in 98. Is that right?
And then
114.
They won the World Series, which is a part of the story here.
Right.
Like, they faced very little adversity other than falling behind the Indians 2-1
Was that
because Chuck
San Diego
Knobloch.
World Series?
Yes.
That was, right.
They swept
so
the Padres.
Sweep, right.
Now, they were losing game 1. Tino Martinez struck out, but the home plate umpire missed the call. Then he hits a grand slam. Remember that? Yeah.
I remember the grand slam, Evan.
Well, the 2-2 pitch was a strike. Okay. Everybody knows that.
You know what that is? All that is pent-up Johan Santana anger.
Yes.
That's all that is right there.
You know
I'm
what?
going to get one back.
You're right.
That's all that
You're
is.
actually right. But this team, as good as they are, maybe
It's
you're
crazy.
right. Maybe you hit on it. The fact that they have things on their team that still frustrates Yankee fans.
Yeah, because the Yankee fans, let's be honest, listen, Gallo has started to hit the ball the last couple games.
Sure.
So I want to give the man credit because I've been very critical, as many people have. But I think it's a couple things. There are guys in the lineup that we don't like. Mm-hmm. And yet, lately, those guys have performed, so let's be fair about it. But you're also talking about a team in 98 that had already won a World Series.
That's a part of it, too.
That had now established household names and superstars in the sport. And I think when you look at this particular Yankee team, other than, Aaron Judge is a homegrown star, like they're doing it with guys who are exceeding expectations.
Well, see, I disagree.
Right?
I think what's happening is other than Aaron Judge, and I'll give you Jose Trevino, who's been awesome, okay? I think you have a lot of guys having blah seasons. Like Gleyber Torres is having a season.
Right.
Isaiah Connor-Falefa is having a season. Josh Donaldson's having a season. Like up and down. Stan's been good. Judge has been great. Trevino's been awesome. Outside of that, when you look at the lineup, who's had an above-average season?
Defensively,
nobody.
They're a much better team.
Defensively, they're better. And obviously, the lead is their starting pitching is freaking awesome. I mean, they're starting pitching from Cortez to Severino to Montgomery to Tyone. I mean, they're a weak link in their rotation statistically. I'll give it to you because it's true, is Garrett Cole. His last start obviously brought up his ERA, but you realize that every other starting pitcher has a sub-3 ERA?
That's which is ridiculous.
Stupid.
And then when a guy goes out there, as a couple of them did in the last week or so, and has a subpar performance, no one's even panicking about it. It's a strange place we are right now. Yankee fans don't like Joey Gallo. They're never going to like Joey Gallo. I don't care what anyone says. There's guys like that we just don't like. They rub us the wrong way. They don't want to hit the ball the opposite field. They bop, and they strike out a lot. But whatever it is, whatever magic elixir, the great possible pulse of the people winner, Brian Cashman, put in the Yankee water jug, it's working. And it might be working against all normal odds or normal thought process. Because like you said, how many guys are batting 350?
Right.
They're not.
Right.
Now, Aaron Judge is having a stupid year.
Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball
MVP of the league. Yeah. Alonso's probably up there as well for the Mets. But Aaron Judge is just stupid right now.
He's the MVP, yes.
Yeah, but when you look at it, they're winning and winning somewhat easily and every single night without Murderer's Row.
Right, and they're doing it with
awesome.
Something that we've never witnessed, and that is
I picked the right team. I knew I picked the right team.
Well, the Mets are off to their second greatest start in their history.
Yeah, and it's still not even as good as the Yankees' regular start.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and that's the one thing
the Yankees
Met fans
have 4 more wins than the Mets, and this is the second greatest start the Mets have ever had.
But we've got
pathetic.
No, see, this is the problem. This is Exhibit A. If you're a Met fan, you can't pay attention to the brilliance of the New York Yankees because it's irrelevant.
But here's the problem.
You have to look at yourself. This is the second greatest start in the history of this franchise.
And in this town, it's still good enough for second place.
But it doesn't.
That's the problem.
The problem is that doesn't matter. Like, it's the same thing.
I think it does matter.
No.
I think
you,
Met
it
fans
matters.
and Yankee fans go to sports bars together, and that's the conversation.
I agree, but
hey, we're really good. Hey, we're really good. We're better.
No, I understand that, and the Yankees are better. Like, I'm not going to argue that. The New York Yankees have had a better season than the New York Mets. They're the best team in baseball. My only point to you is while you could have those debates at a bar, you may have the debates here. If you're a Met fan, remind yourself, it doesn't matter. It's one of those debates you have, like LeBron versus Michael.
Stupid.
It's irrelevant.
Except
what's relevant is winning the division, making the playoffs, and come October, which team's going to be better then?
So I think you have to give me one, and I'll give you one.
Go.
All right?
Go.
Here's where I think we're at. It does not matter at all what the Yankees do for the Mets, and vice versa. Whatever the Mets wind up doing is irrelevant to what the Yankees wind up doing. Obviously, we hope they're on this collision course for the World Series because that would be awesome. I know you don't want that because God forbid the Yankees steal your soul again like they did 22 years ago, and you can't live with yourself over that.
Correct.
But that being said, the reality that you have to give me is that while what the Yankees do doesn't matter to you, it matters to you. You pay attention to it. You see it.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it.
Yeah.
And you're aware of it.
And I'll tell you why it matters to me, even though it shouldn't matter. You.
Yes.
Yeah, you. Guys like you.
That's right.
I mean, because instead of just saying, hey, the Mets had a really solid 5-5 West Coast trip.
Which is pathetic that you're celebrating 500, but go ahead.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Like, we can't look at our small victories, our solid victories with joy because we got the big fat bully to our left reminding us how good they are.
No, I'm just saying it's cute when you guys celebrate 5-5. That's so cute.
But the NL East
I'm going
and
to put
the
your
AL,
little triangle birthday hat on. Oh, look at little cute little boy.
This is my point, people. When you say, and you're right, It bothers you. You pay. Yeah, because of you.
Yeah.
Because I have to be reminded that no matter what the Mets have done through 64 games,
Yeah.
look what the Yankees are doing.
I mean, even the Boston Red Sox fans trying to flex right now because they were 8-2 in their last 10. They lost the game in the standings to the Yankees. So I do think it's cute that you guys are celebrating a 500 road trip. I understand why. I'm not even mocking the why part of it. I get it. Stay above water, float. Float as long as you can, and then hope to get Scherzer and DeGrom back.
But the thing
I totally get it.
But the thing you've got to keep an eye on, the Yankees win every single night. What they've done, especially in the last 2 games against a bad Cub team, but still, you got to beat the bad teams. It's great. I mean, they're just crushing teams. They've got a stretch of games now where they play the Tampa Bay Rays 6 of 9 times.
Okay, so there you go.
The Tampa Bay Rays have a shot. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they've got a shot to take your narrative of, I'm bored, the season's over, the division's over.
Yeah.
They got a chance to flush that quick because let the Braves be a lesson. They changed the complexion of the NL East very quickly because they got hot.
Yes.
It's right in front of Tampa and Toronto
And by
to
the way,
change what's been this start to the American League
Tampa
East.
is 10 games over 500. So
Yes.
that's, the fact that, they're in third place right now, they're not having a bad year.
No.
They're 10 games over 500. This is just one of those special years that Yankee fans have seen before, my friends. Big Mac, how are you enjoying the weekend, buddy?
Oh, what a wonderful weekend it was, Craig. Thank you for asking. I had a
You're
great
welcome.
day. I had a great
You
time.
look fantastic today.
I had a great tan. I got
You
some
seem
sun
like
at
you
Yankee
have
Stadium.
Not a worry in the world right now.
Not a one. Feeling
Not a
great.
single worry.
Not a single worry.
That's right. Not a worry.
For us condescending Yankee fans, it is a glorious day. Glorious.
Now, it's interesting to me that you sit there so self-confident. You look like you got a nice tan this weekend.
Yeah.
I know you took your kids to their first Yankee game.
It was fantastic.
That was great.
Judge
watching
leads
them
off
beat
the game with a
Cubs.
home run. Home runs all over the
I
place.
think it's great. That
Yeah.
being said,
Yeah.
you do owe local fans an apology.
I owe an apology?
You owe local New York sports fans an apology.
I
owe
can't
you-
see how that's
Big Mac,
possible.
I owe you a thank you, but most fans,
Yeah.
you owe an apology to. I
I-
agree, Craig.
Your
I'm not
refusal to drown a New York City sewer rat
Oh, my God.
in the name of good juju for the Rangers, frankly, came back and bit you right in the ass.
Stop
Mr.
it.
Yankee fan.
Stop it.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
supposed to drown a rat to avoid what happened to the Rangers?
When
and now that
yeah.
I didn't do it, I owe apologies?
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
You're the guy.
stop it
You're
now.
the reason Capo
You're the
Caco
guy.
was scratched.
Yeah,
you.
I know. I was the guy.
I'll do you one better. I
Really?
had a lot
One
of
better
Yankee-
than this? That's rich.
I was at PNC Bank Arts Center yesterday, and I had a lot of Yankee fans come up to me.
Yeah.
And these Yankee fans came up to me and said, Craigie, is Big Mac willing to kill the rat for the Yankees? Because we saw what happened when he wouldn't kill the rat for the Rangers. And I said, good question, don't know. Good question, don't know. Do you want to answer that or no?
Yeah, I can answer that right now. There is no need for dead rodents with this team, and I will not partake in said experiment.
So if the Yankees are down 3-2 in the ALCS,
Yes.
you're not willing to kill the rat?
I have principles.
Do
and
you
I will
though?
not, yes, I do. And I will not
Wow.
kill a rat.
Wow.
The man has principles.
As
That's
much as
true.
I don't
Okay.
want to kill a rat, if you're telling me the New York Mets are down 3-2 in the
You're gonna
NLCS to the
kill
Los Angeles
any animal.
Dodgers, I'm going to destroy that rat.
Not just that, you would kill Dudley.
No, I would not.
Yeah, you
now
would.
you took it a step
Oh,
too
so there's
far.
lines. So there's
probably
lines
killed
now.
No, you vile, disgusting human
So you
being.
wouldn't do anything.
You wouldn't kill Dudley?
To my-
Actually feed him some arsenic?
To man's best friend, my
Yeah.
beautiful dog who's been with me through tough times and great times
Yeah.
and mediocre times?
Yeah?
Absolutely not.
Okay, just
How
checking.
dare you?
So I guess you're not that big a fan.
Don't equate a New York City
Yeah.
sewer rat
Yeah.
with the beautiful, cuddly Dudley
I'm just
Roberts.
asking. So Dudley is worth more than a Met World Series?
Yes.
Really?
That's my boy.
Huh. Interesting.
Of course. And my family is too. You want to get that out of the
No,
way?
I would never bring
My
a
kids,
family.
my wife, my dog, yes. And
never
you know
do that.
what? If you want to judge me for that, sue me. All right?
No, I'm just saying. It's interesting.
Family
Everyone's
first,
got a
baby.
line. So he won't kill a rat. You won't put the dog down.
Correct.
Maybe I'm not surrounded by fans. I don't know.
If I put a Twitter poll out right now and said, would you kill a family animal for a championship? You
Well,
will
but hold
lose
on.
that vote.
No,
And you're not guaranteeing
Hold
me
on.
anything, by the way. You know, it's not like
The juju is perfect. The juju has never been defeated.
Yeah, I don't know about
And
that.
you should know that because Tampa came back and scored 30 seconds after you did.
I know.
So you
That was
couldn't even
tough.
enjoy the
That
goal.
was a tough goal.
And none of that, he played soccer with the puck. He kneed it right in like he was Pele.
No, But Craig, don't bury the lead. Obviously, the New York Rangers lost because the officials don't like them.
Is that right? We're blaming the referees again? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
It's not our fault. It's the referee's fault.
Yeah.
You scored 1 goal in 3 games. What's the ref's fault? Okay. 877-337-6666. We got lots to do. Get all your calls. The boring Yankee weekend. The Mets happy about being 500 and everything in between. You know the phone numbers. It's Carton and Roberts on the Fan.
Wow. Met fans on Twitter not happy with my radio partner.
Why? What did I do?
Wow.
No, I think it's cute that you celebrated being
Tell
500.
this D-bag Yankee bleep to shut the bleep up.
What did I do?
And then an attachment, a picture of your face blown up as if you're obese. Like
What?
this right here. See that?
That was a bad picture I took a couple weeks ago. Listen, you got to have a little fun and laugh for yourself a little bit. Just a little bit. Little bit. Little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if Evan's going to have such criticism for you as he did for me. Because
By the way,
the Met fan has to enjoy the show, Evan, right? As we've been told, and you don't want to be so condescending in everything you say that
did
nobody
tell you
would
that,
want to
yeah.
listen. So go ahead, go tell him.
Coming
Tell him
to
how
you
he needs to
live.
improve himself.
He knows he's a condescending douche. Come on.
live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, it's Douche and Duffel, the Bag Twins, all the way to 6:30 tonight.